Hello everyone. Welcome to my YNR 24 Spoilers channel. Claire's audacious move, Victor's trap, and visiting Noah. Spoilers for Monday, September 29th, 2025 are available for the young and the restless. Fans can anticipate that Victor Newman will set up a trap for Cain Ashby in the upcoming episode. Claire, meanwhile, takes a risk. In addition, Nick and Sharon Newman arrange to pay Noah Newman a visit. Let's discuss the upcoming developments in the CBS soap drama as you continue reading. Sally Spectra communicates. First, let's talk about Sally Spectra. Sally is shown using her computer to video chat with Jill in the park in a weekly preview film. Billy is the object of the redhead's declaration of love, but much though Jill adores her son, is she concerned about Sally's future? She was a little too willing to forgive him for everything he had done. Cain Ashby, Billy Flynn, kicked him to the curb, which is the only reason he's altering course at this point. Even though Billy says he wants to work with Sally once again, what will happen the next time a contract comes up? Read more. Discover the events of YNR's most recent episode, The Finding of Jill Abbott. Even though Jill adores her kid, they haven't been getting along for a time. Billy continues to hold Jill accountable for selling the business to Victor without consulting him. Fans are aware, though, that Billy continued to make dubious decisions and that Jill was battling heart problems at the time. Sally may give Jill an update on the Cain issue and the outcome of the major launch. The trap of Victor Newman. He tries to set Cain another trap over with Victor. The father may also attempt to plan with Jack Abbott. According to the weekly spoilers, Jack and Victor do ultimately come to an agreement. Claire Grace Newman's audacious step. Claire is going to take a risk as well. It appears that she will ultimately choose to go on that vacation. She may discuss Holden Novak's proposal with Victoria Newman. In the forthcoming scenes in Los Angeles, Claire and Victoria may be together for that reason. Claire says her mother should accompany her since she might not be able to go with Holden alone. Or perhaps after discovering concerning details about Holden's past, Victoria goes after her daughter? Read this. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Mariah's victim returns endangering Tessa? September 29th, 2025, Monday. According to Monday, September 29th spoilers for The Young and the Restless, Sharon and Nick decide to go see Noah. But might something occur on that journey? Or will Noah find himself in a difficult circumstance? Claire's adventure, Sally's secret, and Jill's homecoming. Spoilers for the week of September 29th, 2025 have been released for The Young and the Restless. Jill Abbott will be returning to Genoa City. Fans may anticipate. A secret is kept by Sally Spectra. Claire Grace Newman accepts Holden Novak's offer as well. Let's discuss the upcoming events in the CBS soap opera as you continue reading. Jill Abbott's return home. Sally contacts Jill via video call at the start of the week. The redhead confesses to Jill her affection for Jason Thompson's character, Billy Abbott. I do wonder, though, whether Sally is afraid that she might be making the same mistake twice. Perhaps that is the reason for the phone call. Although I could understand Sally doing it behind Billy's back. Billy would never approach his mother for money. Either way, before the end of the week, Jill returns to Genoa City. But don't count on her and Billy's relationship to improve. In actuality, Billy and his mother rehash old wounds. The secret of Sally Spectra. Sally, who has a secret, will also be present. Billy is not told this information by the redhead. I wonder, then, if Jill has a plan. What happens, anyway, when Billy discovers Sally's deceit? I could see Billy misinterpreting it, even if she means well. The journey of Claire Grace Newman. The Restless and the Young according to spoilers for the week of September 29th. Claire takes a risk. When she eventually agrees to Holden's proposal, the blonde calls him. In order to gain some space from Kyle Abbott, the young man asks Claire to accompany him to Los Angeles. Week of September 29th, 2025. Additionally, viewers will witness Nick Newman and Sharon Newman, Sharon case, organizing a visit to Noah Newman. Jack Abbott and Victor Newman plan in the interim. Tessa Porter argues for what she did. Michael Baldwin is tempted. Lauren Baldwin, meantime, places Nikki Newman in a hard situation. Amy Lewis and Lily Winters discover points of agreement. Audra Charles requests a second chance with Sean Dominic's character, Nate Hastings. But he has previously responded no when she has asked this question twice. The brunette believes that the third time is the charm, but why? There will be family disputes, risky games, and emotional turning points during the week of September 29th, 2025, which is sure to rock Genoa City. This plot's many threads converge to form a web of deceit, manipulation, and decisions that could change people's lives for months to come. We will examine the stakes for the Abbotts, the Newman family, and the outsiders who are emerging as major characters in the unfolding drama in this examination. Sally Spectra's heart is split between fear and love. The tone for Sally Spectra's entire narrative this week is established by her decision to video contact Jill Abbott when she was at the park. On the surface, Sally seems assured as she declares her love for Billy Abbott, a declaration that ought to feel freeing but instead makes her uneasy. A battleground. Sally's romantic life has been tainted by betrayals, snap judgments, and dashed hopes. She is passionate and creative because of her relationship with Billy, but she is also unstable and uncertain. There is a part of Sally that begs for validation when she confides in Jill about her sentiments, expecting that someone as experienced as Jill will support her choice. But when her son is involved, Jill Abbott has never been one to give her unqualified support. Jill bears the wounds from her own relationship with Billy, a man whose destructive tendencies are well known across Genoa City. When Sally confesses, Jill may smile kindly, but her mind will start racing right away. Is Sally attracted to Billy's chaos and excitement, or does she really love him? Regarding her kid, Jill is aware that love can be both a blessing and a curse. More significantly, at a time when power tensions are already intensifying, Sally might not be aware that by reaching out to Jill, she is unintentionally dragging the matriarch back into Genoa City. Not only will Jill's return affect her relationship with Billy, but it will also have an effect on the corporate world, resurrecting past scars between her, Victor, and Jack. This one call starts a chain reaction that may rekindle old alliances and conflicts. Old wounds reopened. Jill Abbott's homecoming and discovery. When Jill returns to Genoa City, it's hardly a quiet return. Her presence is unavoidable, noisy and disruptive, much like a thunderclap. Jill is determined not to let Victor's manipulations or Billy's careless actions to overshadow her reputation as a woman who has battled valiantly for everything she owns. The reunion between Billy and Jill is not at all easy. Tension that hasn't been settled for decades rises to the surface. While Jill is still annoyed by her son's unwillingness to accept responsibility for his own shortcomings, Billy still harbors resentment at her for selling Chancellor Winters to Victor. This week's interactions between them will undoubtedly be intense, full of hurtful comments and passionate accusations. Sally, who might be hiding something of her own, perhaps a bargain with Jill that Billy is unaware of, is in the midst of it all. This lie has the potential to sour Sally and Billy's relationship at a time when it is beginning to solidify. It might feel like the biggest betrayal if Billy finds out that Sally went behind his back to win Jill's support. For Sally, it could be a calculated, romantic move, but for Billy, it could be another example of someone questioning his ability. The issue still stands. At what cost will their love endure the storms? Victor Newman's trap. Risky partnerships and power games. Victor Newman is at the heart of yet another risky plot in the meanwhile. The mustache is far from done being the puppet master, as evidenced by his choice to build a trap for Kane Ashby. Kane has turned into a pain in Victor's side, a wild card who has the potential to ruin well-laid plans, because Victor feeds on control. Victor's trap is probably a combination of personal intimidation and business scheming. He might present Kane with an alluring opportunity, just to abruptly withdraw it, revealing Kane's desperation. Victor's possible collaboration with Jack Abbott is what really intrigues this plot. Given their history of animosity, it is nearly impossible to see Victor and Jack planning together. Yet in Genoa City, odd alliances are frequently formed out of necessity. Entering Victor's trap could be the start of Cain's downward spiral. Cain has always been an ambitious man, but under pressure his moral compass frequently falters. Cain might be forced to make choices that endanger his future and put him at odds with the Abbotts and Victor if Victor corners him, either as a broken man or as a crafty survivor who outwits even Victor Newman. This trap might be the kind of plot that defines Cain's career for years to come. Claire Grace Newman's audacious step, a mother's fear, and a daughter's journey. Claire Grace Newman's tale this week is arguably the most emotionally intense. Claire ultimately takes the risky step of calling Holden Novak and accepting his invitation to Los Angeles after weeks of hesitation. Regaining her freedom from Kyle Abbott and escaping the shadow of her influential family are the main reasons behind this decision, not merely the desire for adventure. However, Claire's choice is not the only one. This development is heavily influenced by her protective mother, Victoria Newman. Victoria's presence indicates that the trip to Los Angeles won't be a carefree vacation, regardless of whether she chooses to go with her daughter or follow her later. Rather, it turns into a platform for emotional disclosures, mother-daughter strife, and potentially risky relationships with Holden, whose intentions might not be as good as they first appear. Claire and Victoria's relationship is at a turning point. Being a mother and a titan of industry has never been easy for Victoria. She must come to understand that love and control are not the same thing with Claire. Victoria runs the danger of offending her daughter if she presses too hard. However, she is afraid of putting Claire in danger if she backs off. Victoria will be put to the test in ways she has never been put to before by this delicate balancing act. For his part, Holden is a symbol of both risk and possibility. Although he exudes charisma and an adventurous attitude, there are persistent whispers about his problematic past. Is Claire about to fall into a trap of her own, one that is more deadly and intimate than anything Victor could plan? Though only time will tell, this plot thread is set up to examine issues of independence, trust, and the Newman family's always complex dynamics. The visit of Sharon and Nick to Genoa, a shifting family. The plot involving Sharon and Nick provides a more sobering emotional journey while mayhem rages in Genoa City. On the surface, their choice to go see Noah would seem clear, but nothing in soap operas is ever that simple. The turmoil in Noah's family has frequently dominated his life, and it's possible that Sharon and Nick will find themselves in a position where their kid is dealing with personal difficulties. Sharon and Nick's journey will make them consider their responsibilities as parents, regardless of whether Noah is in difficulty, having an affair, or dealing with a work-related crisis. They might also feel more united as a result of their mutual concern for Noah. Their relationship has moved on, but their bond as parents is unbreakable. Both characters and spectators may be reminded by this visit that family is still at the core of the Newman legacy, despite the chaos that surrounds them. Expanded storylines at work, an enchanting tapestry. The week of September 29th adds a number of subplots that enhance the main storylines. Tessa Porter defended her behavior, which may have been related to Mariah and her past experiences. Something or someone could tempt Michael Baldwin and jeopardize his marriage to Lauren. Lauren Baldwin, whether out of loyalty to her family or to her business, put Nikki Newman in an impossible situation. Finding common ground and overcoming differences in the Chancellor Winters universe are Lily Winters and Amy Lewis. Audra Charles begs Nate Hastings for another opportunity once more. This might either save her or reveal her to be a hopelessly manipulative person. The main themes of deceit, loyalty, and second chances, essential components that maintain the young and the restless appeal, are connected to each of these threads. In conclusion, a week filled with emotional turning points and high stakes. The Young and the Restless, September 29th, 2025, Episodes are expected to be a whirlwind of feelings and plots. The week highlights the show's ability to strike a balance between economic intrigue and very emotional drama. From Victor's well-planned trap for Cain to Claire's bold foray into independence. Almost every family in Genoa City experiences change as a result of Jill's return home. Sally's secret and Sharon and Nick's visit to Noah. The notion that every decision has consequences is what makes this week so captivating. Sally's admission, Jill's comeback, Victor's plan, Claire's journey, and Noah's predicament are not only isolated incidents. Rather, they are strands in a greater fabric that may determine the course of events for the Abbotts, their supporters, and their adversaries in the future. Loyalty is constantly put to the test. Love is rarely straightforward, and every risky decision has repercussions in Genoa City. On Monday, September 29th, 2025, which narrative are you most excited to see? Post your ideas in the space provided for comments below. To find out what happens next, keep watching the soap opera on CBS or Paramount.